Alright, so for all the people who just joined, my name is Raf. We're going to be doing a kin stretch workout today. All you need is a yoga mat or some space in your living room, kitchen, wherever you're at, and possibly a yoga block or a book. Each one will work beautifully, and I think we are good to go. So we're going to get started with some simple breathing. So find a space on your mat. And this time what we're going to do is lay down on our bellies, hands out in front, forehead on our hands, and we're going to breathe nice and deep for 5 deep breaths. So let's get started. Deep inhales. A couple more deep breaths. One more deep breath. From there, we're slowly going to come up onto the elbows. In this position, we're going to do something called neck cars, where we're going to start looking down with our head to the left or right and start drawing a big circle with that head, nice and slow. And then back the same way you came. Deep breaths. Make sure you're not going through any kind of pain. If you find any kind of painful spots, draw a smaller circle with your head. Let's aim for one more. Good. From there, we're slowly going to come up onto our hands and knees. And we're going to go into a kneeling position just like so. Hands out in front. And we're going to squeeze our shoulder blades together and push them away. Making sure in this position our elbows stay locked out. Our head stays neutral. And we're still focusing on that breath. Perfect. From there, same position, but now I want you to think of drawing circles with just your shoulder blades, going back and forth. This might feel awkward and weird, but that's okay. It will get better in time. Perfect. Now we're going to switch directions. Same idea. Big circles with the shoulders. One more, and good. From there, still in this kneeling position, but we're going to have both elbows down. We're going to start with our left hand. You're going to reach forward as far as possible, lift it up as high as possible, and from there you're going to start rotating that hand around and behind, bending the elbow and trying to take your fingertips to the opposite shoulder blade, and then you're going to come back the same way you came, nice and slow. We're trying to move through that shoulder joint nice and slow to get it warm for all the fun stuff we're about to do today. Again, we're still breathing nice and slow. One more. And good. We're going to to switch sides, and I'm also going to switch up the angle for you guys at home. So same thing, reaching forward, coming up as high as possible, rotate, rotate, rotate all the way around, bending the elbow, getting those fingers to the opposite shoulder, and then we're coming back the same way we came. Again, as we do these movements, take a second to check in with how your body's feeling. Is the shoulder sore? Is it tight? Have those little mental checks as we go through today. So one more. Good. Next one, if you have that yoga block or book or something to pry up just like this, we're going to place it right beside our left elbow. And that's going to provide some feedback that if you cheat on this, you're going to lean over and tip it over. So the goal is to not tip that yoga block over. The outside leg, so the right leg in this case, we're going to drive the knee forward as far as possible, out to the side as wide as possible. In this position, you're going to rotate the hip up, driving the heel towards the ceiling, going all the way around, down towards the center, and then you're going to come back the same way you came. Big, 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 big circle. And again, I want you to think of using your knee as kind of a marker, drawing a big circle for that hip. And again, we're not leaning over because we have that block or book or something to make sure we're not leaning over and cheating. And again, we're focusing on deep breaths. Aim for one more before we switch sides. So we're going to switch over to the other side, bring that block, book, paperweight, whatever you got, to the other elbow, and same thing, driving that knee forward, out to the side, rotate that hip up with that heel all the way in towards the center, and then we're coming back the same way we came, nice and slow. You don't want to go too fast on these. Still breathing, still moving, nice and slow. Same for one more, nice and slow. Next, we're going to move to the spine. So if you have that block, definitely use it. If not, I'll show you the option without it. So if you have the block, you're going to give it kind of a big bear hug and kind of pull it apart. If you don't, you can just go crossed arms with fists. And what we're going to do is think of squeezing the glutes to lock out the lumbar spine, because we're going to move just through the thoracic spine. So in this position, we're going to come down with the upper spine, rotate to the right as far as possible, extend back as far as possible. In this extended position, you're going to make your way over to the other side and mimic that small little rotation we just did back to center, and then you're going to come back to where you started. So again, thinking of just moving through that top portion of the spine. You shouldn't feel anything in the low back. If you do, squeeze your glutes a little bit harder. Drive the hips forward, and that will help. And again, continue to breathe. And drive the toes into the ground. Squeeze everything you got. take a seat. We're gonna work our wrists. So cross-legged position, forearms are gonna be glued to our legs. And the big thing here is I don't wanna see your forearms rotate. We're just moving through the wrists. From here, fingers glued together like a karate chop hand. You're gonna go down as far as possible, into the center, up towards the ceiling, out to the side. And again, I'm pushing my forearms into my legs to make sure they don't rotate as I go through. So big, 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 big circles with just the wrists. If you do this right, you will feel it. And now let's switch directions, same thing. Nice and slow. And then from there, we're gonna go into our knee cars. So our knee joint can actually move. So what we're going to do is thinking of driving your toes up towards your face and keeping that ankle locked out. So you're gonna take your right hand through the leg, left hand holds the right hand. From there, you're gonna rotate the toes to the right and then to the left. And we're just gonna go back and forth, thinking of moving our tibia, which is our shin bone, back and forth through the joint. And this motion is super important when it comes to squatting, lunging, running, you name it. A couple more. And good. From there, left hand on the right shin, right hand on the left forearm to pull that hip in. And we're drawing big, 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 big circles with the ankle. Nice and slow. And keep breathing. And switch directions. And good. From there, what we're going to do is switch over to the other side. So left leg is bent, left arm goes through, left hand holds the right hand. You're going to pull that leg up, toes towards your face to lock out the ankle, and then we're rotating to the left and right. Moving that shin bone back and forth, nice and slow. Couple more. And good. From there, right hand on that left shin, left hand on the right forearm, and big, 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 big circles. Now let's switch directions, kind of exploring all of our ranges of motion through that ankle. And good. For the next one, we're going to be seated because we're also going to work our toes. So what we're going to do, when I tell you to lift, big toe comes up only and the rest stay down. So get set. 3, 2, 1. Big toe up and down. 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 Now the big toe will stay down while the rest of the toes come up. So 3, 2, 1, toes up and down, toes up and down, toes up and down, toes up and down. So now all toes come up, and when I tell you to go, it's just the big toe and then back up. So 3, 2, 1, big toe down and up, big toe down and up, big toe down and up. Perfect. Now the big toe stays up while the rest go down. So 3, 2, 1, toes go down, back up, toes go down, and up, toes go down, and up. One more time, toes go down, and up. Perfect. Now we're going to get started. So the first base position that we're going to start on is something called a 90-90. So what we're going to do is go wide with the legs. We're going to drop both of them over to our left side. So now we have a 90-degree angle in this leg, a 90-degree angle in this one. What we're going to do is placing that block, book, whatever you have underneath the ankle. So now we're in more external rotation of that front leg. What we're going to do is think of arching our low back, chest is up. We're going to lean forward until we feel stretch in our left hip, glute, or anywhere else you're tight. And all we're going to do in this position for now is hold this for 2 minutes. At the top of the 2 minutes, we're going to do something called pales contraction and rails contraction, meaning we're going to think of driving the ankle down into the block when I tell you to for about 10 seconds. And when I tell you to push down on the block with your ankle, I mean like your entire body is contracting as much energy to break that block as hard as possible. We're going to do that for 10 seconds. After the 10 seconds are done, you can let go of that contraction, and you'll notice you'll be able to go a little bit deeper into the stretch. After we get to this point, I'll tell you to go again, but this time you're going to think of driving your ankle off the block. In this end range position, it's going to be nearly impossible, so that's why we're creating that isometric contraction. The only way to cheat this is if you went back up here and decided to lift your leg off the block. So you want to get as deep as possible into that stretch. But for now, for the next minute, we're still holding the stretch before all of that happens. So deep, deep breaths, and try to relax as much as possible to get a deeper stretch. And again, if you don't have the block, you can easily just have the leg this way, and you can still get a stretch into that hip. "30 seconds before we start thinking of driving that ankle down into the block as hard as possible. "10 seconds before we start driving down. Go in 3, 2, 1. Start pushing that foot and ankle into the block as hard as possible. Think of breaking that block. If you don't have the block, keep pushing down into the ground. Push, push. Break the floor. Push. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ease off. Try to get further into the stretch. From here, when I tell you to go, you're going to try to lift this ankle off the block or off the ground without leaning back. So in 3, 2, 1, start lifting. Lift, lift. Try to lift that entire leg off the ground. Lift, lift. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. We're slowly going to come up from that position. Now we're going to get rid of the block. So in kin stretch, when my hands are up here, here, or here, difficult, hands down here, a little bit easier, easiest. So find what works for you throughout this workout. When I tell you to lift this time, you're going to lift the ankle up towards the ceiling and hold it there. What I don't want to see is one of these. Try to stay upright the entire time when we do this. So get ready, find a position that works for you. 3, 2, 1, lift the ankle and hold. And as we're holding, you're trying to drive this as high as possible the entire time. Aim for millimeters, centimeters, whatever you got. And back down. And back up. Squeeze and hold. Get more, get more, get more. And back down. And back up. Keep holding. Keep holding. And back down. And back up. Push that chest forward. Don't lean back. Get more. And good. So we're going to add a second layer to this. I'll tell you to lift. I'll tell you to also extend the entire leg, but I'm not dropping that foot. In this position, we're going to hold. Then I'll tell you to bend. Then I'll tell you when to come down. If you find it difficult to extend in this position, again, find those other options. So again, 3, 2, 1, we're lifting. Extend the leg, drive the toe up, try to clear the floor. Hold, hold. Bend the leg, don't let the ankle touch yet. Hold, hold, and back down. Welcome to kin stretch, and back up. This is where usually people realize how terrible this is. And extend. Hover that foot over. Hold. And back in. And back down. Again, if you need to go down to here to make it easier, go ahead. 3, 2, 1, lift. Makes it a lot easier. And extend to do it this way. Hold. and bend, and back down. We got one more of those lovelies. And lift, and extend, and back in, and back down. All right, third layer. We're gonna start in this position. If this does not feel good on the hip, you can easily take this leg and go into a butterfly. If not, you can stay here. What we're gonna do, we're gonna imagine we have this little wall, or you can use your block. What we're going to do in this position, you're gonna follow my pace. We're gonna lift the leg up and go over the block and back down, and then back over. Nice and slow without knocking it over or doing anything funny. But again, if you start with this and it doesn't feel good, go into this position, a lot easier to do that. And again, the block that goes further out, the harder it is. So find what works for you. 3, 2, 1. We're all lifting up, out to the side, down, back up, over, and down. If the block is too high, you can also go this way or find something smaller. 3, 2, 1, lift, out to the side, down, back up, and down. You can adjust if you need to. Keep the chest up. 3, 2, 1, lift, down, back up, down. Let's go one more time. Up, out to the side, down, back up, and down. Perfect. Let's get rid of that block. We're slowly going to bring that leg into our 90-90. And in this position, you're going to take your right hand onto your left ankle. With this back knee, you're going to open up the hip as wide as possible without rotating the torso. And then you're going to come right back down. And nice and slow, I'm just going to pump up that leg to open it up a little bit before we switch over to the other side. And then after this one, if you want to be a ninja, we're going to open up this leg and start rotating our torso to make our way over to the other side. But if you need to flip around to come see me, you can do that just like I did. So we're doing the same thing on this side, but now foot on top of the block, drop the knee onto the ground, arch the low back, lean in, and hold. And again, we're gonna hold this for 2 minutes. At the top of the 2 minutes, you're driving your ankle down into the ground as hard as possible. And then when I tell you to stop, you'll stop. And then when I tell you to go again, think of driving the ankle off the block. But for now, the next minute and 40 seconds, we are breathing. And I'm super excited to be doing this because I'm also running my full class on Zoom that I usually do every Thursday. And I'm doing this lovely, lovely Kinstretch workout for all the people at Impact Magazine. Huge opportunity. I want to thank them, and also want to thank their sponsor for all these workout series, Drip Fit. If you look at their latest posts and my posts, there's a whole contest that you can win utilizing this workout, following Impact, following Drip Fit. So go check that out after this. Deep, deep breaths. Try to melt into that stretch. Think of always keeping that chest up, arching the low back as much as possible. Got another minute before we start driving that ankle down into the ground. Seconds. When I tell you to go, I want you to think of more than just driving your ankle down. Think of creating as much tension in your entire body to send good feedback, because we are communicating with our nervous system to give us more range of motion. So sometimes I'll use my hands to push into the ground, create fists, whatever it is to create that tension. So we got 20 seconds before we start driving that ankle down into the block as hard as possible. Again, if you don't have the block, hit the ground. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start pushing that foot and ankle into the block. Push, push, break the floor, break the block, keep pushing. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ease off, see if you can get further into the stretch. When I tell you to go again, you're going to drive that ankle up towards the ceiling without leaning back. So in 3, 2, 1, start lifting. Lift, don't lean back, push your chest down, lift, lift. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and ease off. We're slowly coming back up, and we're going to repeat the same thing that we did on the other side. So, starting with just lifting up the ankle off the ground, staying nice and tall. So in 3, 2, 1, lift. Hold. And back down. And lift. And back down. And lift. Keep that chest up. Drive that ankle up. And back down one more time and up. And good. Second layer, we're going to lift the ankle and we're also going to extend the knee forward and hover it. So get set, and again, other options are available if it's too tough. 3, 2, 1, lift the ankle and extend the leg and hold. Don't let that heel, leg, or anything touch the ground yet. Now bend it back in. Don't let it touch the ground. Hold. Keep the chest up. And back down. And back up. Extend that leg. When you extend, make sure you don't go in too close. That makes it easier. Try to get it as straight as possible and out to the side. And back in. And back down. And up. Last time, make it count. And extend. And bend. And back down. Perfect. Now we're going to bring that leg forward. We're going to bring our little block, or you don't have to use a block, you can have a little imaginary wall that you're going to lift over and back. And again, if you need to lean over or go into our little half butterfly, you can. If not, stay where you are. 3, 2, 1, lift the leg, out to the side, down, back up, in, and down, and up, down, back up, down, and again, up, out to the side, down, back up, down. One more time, up, down, back up, and good. We're gonna bring that leg back in, and same thing like we did on the other side. Left hand on the right ankle, back leg is going to open up and come back down without rotating that torso. Deep, deep breaths as we go through. A couple more reps of this guy. And this next one, we're gonna open up and rotate to the other side. Perfect. Next thing, we're gonna all stay in a butterfly stretch. As we do this next one, you're gonna think of actively pushing down the knees the entire time, because as people fatigue in this, they end up doing this with their knees and start caving in like a turtle. So you want to be upright the entire time. As we hold this position, we're going to do a little torture on the shoulders. So hands are going to be behind the head and the elbows forward. When I tell you to go elbows back, elbows are going to push back, and you're trying to aim as much range as possible the entire time. And then from there, I'll tell you to go hands off the head. Then I'll tell you to extend the elbows. I'll tell you to internally rotate, externally rotate. I'll tell you to swim behind. So the arms are going to go behind, but I'm not touching my low back. Then I'll tell you to let the arms touch, but the elbows are still going to go. And then I'll tell you to relax. And then we're going to come all the way back up. So a lot of listening on this one. So we're starting hands behind the head, elbows are forward, chest is up, and elbows back. Push those elbows to that back wall. Try to get more. Keep pushing, get more, get more, get more. Hands come off the head. Keep driving those elbows, that hands behind you. Don't forget about your knees. Push the knees down. Extend the elbows. Even in this position, I'm trying to get more range behind me. Keep going. Keep going. Now internally rotate. Thumbs go down and behind. Try to squeeze out more range. Externally rotate, so the opposite. Internally rotate. Get more. Externally rotate. We're going to be here a while, so get comfy. Internally rotate. And now swim behind, so bend those elbows, hands that go behind the low back, but I'm not touching and I'm still pushing back. Hands go on my low back, my shoulders are still pushing back. And relax, we're halfway, elbows back. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Hands come off the low back. Get more, keep that chest up, push those knees down. Extend the elbows. Externally rotate, thumbs go around and behind. I'm still driving back to get more range. Internally rotate. Externally rotate. Breathe, keep the chest up. Internally rotate. Externally rotate. Bend the elbows. Hands go behind the head. I'm not touching, I'm still driving my hands and elbows back. Get more. Get more. Keep going, keep going. Hands stay on the head, but the elbows are back. Push, push. Get more, get more, get more. And relax those elbows. All right, from there, we're gonna go back to our 90-90 position. So we're gonna have our left leg in front, right leg is back. In this position, when I tell you to lift, you're gonna use all your strength to lift that back ankle up towards the ceiling. What I don't wanna see is when you lift, you lean forward so much that you're super high, so you wanna stay upright as much as possible in this position. If this doesn't feel good, again, lean into those other positions. If not, stay where you are, 3, 2, 1, lift the ankle and hold. And when we're here, drive that ankle towards the ceiling. Get as much height as possible. Get more, get more, get more. And back down. And back up. Squeeze. Get millimeters. Come on, get height. Back down. Back up. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Back down one more time and up. Squeeze. And back down. Second layer. I'll tell you to go ankle up, and I'll tell you to go knee up. When you lift the knee, don't let the knee travel forward. It's going to make it easier. Try to hover in the spot where you lifted it from. And then we'll come back down, then the ankle comes down. Lots of fun. 3, 2, 1, lift the ankle. And lift the knee. Again, hands where my hands are, makes it hard. It's a little bit easier, easier, easiest. Find out what works. We're still holding. We're still having fun. Breathe. Knee comes down. Ankle comes down. Ankle back up. Knee comes up. Hold. Hold. Knee comes down. Ankle comes down. One more time. Ankle up. Knee up. Knee down. Ankle down. Third layer. Ankle goes up. Knee goes up. Then I'll tell you to extend the knee. And we're going to hold it there. And then bend it, then the knee comes down, then the ankle comes down. If you have that block or something, you're going to place it right in front of your leg to make sure that knee does not travel forward, and you end up having a better experience. So in 3, 2, 1, lift the ankle, lift the knee, extend the knee and hold. Don't let that foot lean down into the ground. Keep it up. Get height, keep the chest up. Bend the knee. Knee comes down, ankle comes down. All right, again, ankle up. Keep the chest up. Knee up. Extend the leg. Hold. Hold. Stay strong. You got this. Bend the knee. Knee down. Ankle down. We got one more. Ankle up. Knee up. Extend the knee. Hold. Bend the knee. Knee comes down. Ankle comes down. That was good times. Next thing, we're going to switch over to the other side. So open up this knee, and we're going to rotate over to the other side. And again, if you have to adjust to see me, that is fine. All right, so same thing on this leg. We're starting with just the ankle coming up. So get set in 3, 2, 1, lift. And back down. Lift. Back down. Lift. Back down. One more and up. Back down. Perfect. So now we're going to add that knee. So 3, 2, 1. Lift the ankle. Lift the knee. Hold. Again, use your hands in all those different positions if you need to. So we're still holding this. Knee down, ankle down. And again, ankle up. Knee up. Knee down, ankle down. One more time, ankle up. Breathe. Knee up. Knee comes down, ankle comes down. Grab that block, water bottle, paperweight, whatever you have in front of that knee to make sure you don't cheat. And we're going to add that extension with the knee joint. So get set, 3, 2, 1, lift the ankle, lift the knee, extend the leg, hold, keep the chest up, bend the leg, knee comes down, ankle comes down, ankle up, knee up, extend the leg, bend the leg, knee comes down, ankle comes down. One more time, ankle up, knee up, extend that leg, make it count. Knee bends, knee comes down, and ankle goes down. Nice, let's get rid of this block. And now let's do a little movement from that spine because we've been kind of in all these different positions. So we're going to do a very, very slow motion cat-cow. So what I want you to imagine is only one vertebrae moving at a time. So what we're going to do is start in that big rounded position, thinking of starting at that tailbone, opening up that spine one segment at a time till we get all the way up towards our neck, looking up. And on the way back, the head goes down first, then those shoulders, upper back, mid back, low back, tailbone follows. And again, tailbone, low back, mid back, upper back, neck. Neck comes down, shoulders, mid back, low back, tailbone. Do that one more time before we switch it up. Perfect. So now we're going to switch up the direction. Same start position, but your head is going to look up first. Then those shoulders, mid back, low back, tailbone. Then tailbone, low back, mid back, upper back, head follows. Same movement, just different starts. one. And good. How are we doing on time? Oh, we got plenty of time. All right. If you have that block at home, I want you to go grab it. What we're going to do is lay down on our side. We're going to do a dead bug. We're going to go opposite knee to opposite forearm, and we're going to constantly push against this guy. And when I tell you to extend, the opposite arm and leg are going to extend, and we're going to hold this position until I tell you to come back in. So it's another one of those where you got to listen to me. So get set. Start driving that knee into the block, forearm into the block as hard as possible, and now extend with the opposite arm and leg. Hold, hold, crush that block, and back in, and back out. Break the block, keep breaking it, keep holding, and back in, and back out. Push, 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 break the block, as much tension as possible, and back in, and back out. Last time, make it count. Push, 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 and good. We're gonna switch sides. Left knee, right knee, left forearm, crushing the block while the other one goes. So get set, 3, 2, 1, extend out, break the block, hold, 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 and back in, and back out. Squeeze, hold, break it, and back in, and back out. Hold, break it, break it, break it, come on, and back in. Go one more time and extend. Make this count. Come on. Break the block. Go, go, go. Push, push, push. And good. All right, we got time for one more thing. All we're going to do, we're going to go into a push-up position. We're going to do mountain climbers, but the way I do mountain climbers, isometrically. So we're going to hold that push-up position, and we're going to take our right knee and hold it there. And then I'll tell you when to switch. So get ready to hold this position for a while. Take breaks if you need to. 3, 2, 1, let's get up. Right knee forward and hold. And keep holding. We're going to be here for a while. And switch. And again, make sure you don't end up looking like this. Try to stay in that position. If you get tired, just put the knee down and then come right back up. And switch. If the wrists hurt, you can also just go onto the forearms, go on the fists, whatever it is, and switch. Keep holding. We're almost there. And switch. Breathe. Be here a while. And switch. Switch. We're almost there. You got this. Switch. And relax. So very, very last thing, we're all going to go into a child's pose. Arms out in front, forehead on your mat, ground. And let's take a couple deep breaths to finish this off. Couple more deep breaths. One more deep breath. you could slowly come out of that. Nice work, everyone on Instagram. Nice work, everyone at home that's been doing my classes every Thursday. I want to thank Impact Magazine for letting me take over their Instagram, and DripFit for being their sponsor for all these workouts they've been posting. And again, they are doing a giveaway, so double check their latest posts and my posts on Instagram on how to enter and follow the rules to win an awesome prize pack. Thank you guys. And thank you everyone at home. See ya. Oh, awesome. You guys are welcome. This is awesome. I'm happy I got to share my Kinstretch with you guys. No problem. This was fun. All right. I'm going to end this. Hopefully it saves. And you guys are amazing. Thank you for joining me for today.